Well, greetings. We're sitting here in front of our tiny desk here in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and we're here today. This is Donna and I'm Kelly. We call ourselves Still on the Hill, and we're here today to tell you what we think is one of the great untold folk art stories left in this whole country. Come out of the Ozark Mountains, certainly. That's about a man named Ed Stilley. We have a PowerPoint presentation here.
Yeah, this is my low-tech PowerPoint. It's actually quilts I made because a picture paints 1,000 words.
So that's Ed Stilley in his workshop at Hog Skull Holler, which is where he used to live. Hog Skull Holler's oh, we have a picture of that?
I have another quilt.
All right.
Here, let's see, make sure I get the right direction. Okay.
This is Hog Skull Creek, and they used to scald hogs in those little pools you can see there. They'd actually heat up a boulder in a fire and tumble it into the little pool, and they could scald the hogs, so that's why they call it Hog Skull Holler. But Ed Stilley, this instrument I'm holding, is one of Ed's finest creations. The reason we're so fascinated by this man, he made over 200 instruments and gave them to children. This is one, but every one of them is utterly different. Here's another one that was actually found. Somebody threw this one away, and it was found just in the nick of time. Here's another one. All these instruments are made from scratch. They're like an invention unto themselves. This is one of his earliest creations. Call it the bone banjo. This is a big stake bone across the front.
Hey, give the nickel tour. This is what we call the butterfly guitar.
So the butterfly guitar, it's made out of scraps. Everything about this was made from scraps from his own property. He was a homesteader. So this is it's basswood, but it's also walnut, and there's oak and cedar, and this is an old door hinge, and this is a pork chop bone, and the frets are made from brazing rods, and inside every instrument has all sorts of stuff. This has got an X-ray.
Yeah, here.
That's an actual X-ray of the butterfly guitar. You can see a saw blade in there and the door springs. Every instrument has different stuff inside, but they all have this written on the top. It says, "True faith, true light, have faith in God." And that's the reason Mr. Stilley did it. He's a devotional artist. And this is Donna's fiddle. He gave this to Donna. And it says, of course, "True faith, true light." You know, a long time ago, we've been visiting Mr. Ed Stilley for 20 years now. And he's still alive. But long ago, we asked him a very simple question. We asked Ed how he got started doing this, because he had never even built a guitar until he was 50 years old. And his answer was pretty surprising. They live a very primitive lifestyle. And so he said, here's what his answer was. He said, "Well, I was out there plowing my field like I always do with my mule, and I must have had a heart attack, and I was lying on the ground looking at the sky. And at this moment he had a vision," and these are his words, that he said he saw himself as a giant tortoise in a raging river, and that his 5 children were tiny tortoises holding onto the shell, and he knew somehow he had to get to the other side of that river, and if he did, that God would tell him why he was here on earth and what he was to do with the rest of his life, and his purpose. And what he heard loud and clear was to make musical instruments. So this is something he had never done before, and also to give them children, which is primarily where they mostly ended up. And for 25 years he did that until his body could simply no longer do it. He's very frail now, but like I say, he is alive. And we thought that was such a compelling story that we decided to make it into a song.
This is called "Take Me to the Other Side."
Ready?
Yep.
For Mr. Ed Stilley. That Ozark sun was beating down, dropped my plow to the rocky ground, and the world turned black in a heart attack, and a vision passed before my eyes. Was I dead or alive? I said, "Lord, take me to the other side." I became a great tortoise, swift flowing water, and clinging to my shell, my sons and my daughters. And in the raging river, deep and wide, that day I heard the Lord confide, "Shed your vanity, shed your pride, and I'll see you make it to the other side." I knew that moment that my fate was sealed when the Lord told me He'd make me a deal. If I deliver my children to that shore, He'd show me what these hands were for, to build guitars in His name. That's what I'll do until my dying day. So I grabbed me an axe, my son and me, we felled a big old walnut tree. And I sawed that wood up into boards, and I made a guitar for the Lord. And the Lord looked down and smiled when He gave it away to a little child. Pork chop bone with four bridge, tailpiece made from a rusty old hinge, door spring saw blades mounted in the middle. The Lord like a sound when you both parts jiggle. Sawed up Fritz from a brazen rod, carved on the top true faith, true light. Have faith in God. So I made me another, and hundreds would follow for nearly every child in Honks Cone Holler. Oh, but now I'm old and moving slow, but His love still carries me wherever I go. Though I walk with a cane, still I rejoice in my Savior's name. And Lord, maybe someday You'll call me again and walk with me to the river's end. Well, I hope you're proud of all I've done, and I kept my promises, everyone. And I'll look into your eyes and say, Lord, take me to the other side.
Thank you, NPR.
Bye-bye.